Now that we have a great looking and sounding show, how do we get it out to the viewing audience? Well, of course we have video out. We've already talked about that. We've got our program video out, which matches the session resolution that you set up at the beginning of your session. And there's also the auxiliary video out, which can be the same resolution or a different resolution. Again, that's set up by clicking on the gear on the upper right hand corner of the program out monitor and going to output, and right down here you can choose the resolution and what it is you want to send out that output. You also have an HDMI output as well, and you also have the multi-viewer output, which can also be a program out. So several different versions of program out happening there. And again, with the auxiliary outputs, both audio and video, you have the ability to output literally two different versions of the show. High def and standard def at the same time, program feed with graphics and a clean feed without graphics, all possible from one TriCaster. Now, another way to get your show out to the world is to stream it live on the internet. And streaming has always been a little bit of a daunting task, even for seasoned professionals. But the TriCaster makes it simple with the streaming configuration panel. Now, you can access the streaming configuration panel by clicking on the gear right next to the stream button. It's going to launch for you. And we already talked about setting this up in the earlier portion of this, and it's going to make it very easy for you to connect with any content delivery network. And then to start streaming, you simply click on the streaming button here on the interface, or here on the control surface, you can click the stream button to start the stream as well. Now, to stop the stream on the control surface, you can't just hit the stream button again. There's a qualifier key. You want to hold control and hit stream. And this is so that you don't accidentally just bump it and stop the stream when you don't want to. Now, you have the same controls for recording your production back to the TriCaster. In the beginning of this presentation, we talked about setting up that record. To start the recording, you can either click the record button here on the interface, or you have a record button here on the control surface. And again, to stop the recording, it's control record to stop it here on the control surface. Now, once you're finished with your live production, you can take the recordings that you've made and you can modify them, and you can render out new file formats to deliver to a multitude of different areas. Let's take a look. We're going to click on the X in the upper right-hand corner and exit the live production environment. This is going to take us back to the sessions page for the current session that we're in. Again, once inside the sessions page, you can go to the Manage icon, and you have the ability to export media. This will allow you to load up anything that you recorded during the live production, and then choose, first of all, what is it you want to do with it. You can send it out to an application. You want to make a DVD. Do you want to go to the web? Do you want to go to mobile devices? Let's say mobile devices. And now I can choose, do I want to go to iPad or iPhone, iPod, or Android? What do I want to do with it? Now, you also have the ability to select that and duplicate it. Now, you could go in and you could say, well, I also want to have a version for the web in Flash, and I also want to go to an application and have a version that I can take to Final Cut Pro. Now, when you export, you're going to export that file in all of those different file formats, and then you can instantly deliver it to all of those different areas for different uses of the production that you created in the TriCaster. Now, you also have the ability to back the session up. So we've created a session, all the settings inside the TriCaster, all the content that's loaded, all of the crop, scale, position, everything that has to go on with that session can be backed up into a file. And you have the ability to back it up with the content or without the content. So maybe you don't want all the video clips because it's going to make that backup pretty huge. So you can back up just everything except the content. Or you can choose to back up the entire thing. You can back it up to one of the drive or the removable drive. You can then take that removable drive out and put it up on the shelf. You could even back up to an external drive like a USB drive. It's going to take a little bit longer to back up to that USB drive, but it is possible to do that. Now, once you have a session that's been backed up, if you want to restore that session, that's done out here from the home page. And for the hard drive that's accessible to the system, you're always going to have Restore Backup Session. You can then choose the session that you backed up, and it's going to restore the entire thing to the TriCaster, and you're right back to where you were when you stopped recording from the session in the first place. It's a great way to archive all your work, not only for you, but for your customers as well, and you know you always have access to it whenever you need it. I want to thank you for watching this Get Started training video for the TriCaster 450. There's a lot more information available in the user guides for the TriCaster, so make sure you read all of the documentation available for your TriCaster. And remember, it's available from the Help icon in the menu ring on the home page of your TriCaster. I'm Don Ballance. Thanks for watching.